G'day mates, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I want to discuss what my wish list is for the next competitive season. I'm not talking about items, I'm not talking about the map. I'll do another video on that closer to the new season. I'm talking about a few ideas I have that I think could make Fortnite competitive so much better. And I want to get your guys' opinion and get your thoughts on them and see if this is maybe something Epic will pick up on, or if it's something that we say that we want, maybe there's a chance we get it. Or just you guys like hearing my thoughts on stuff like this. So I'm excited to go through it. I have what a whole weekly schedule would look like as an ideal schedule in my mind on a competitive season, but I want to start off the video talking about a few things that I've thought about that kind of stand outside of that, and I want to get your guys' thoughts on it. Firstly, I think it would be fantastic if we could do a crowd-funded tournament that would kind of function like a Winter Royale every single season. So I talked about this in a recent video. Apex Legends has a whole bunch of packs in their store and a whole bunch of bundles for different legends, different skins that you can buy, and that prize money is directly going towards funding their next major tournament, the ALGS. Now, I think that's similar style, but I think instead of putting it towards a giant tournament for the pros, which the pros would play in this too, put it towards a tournament that the community gets to get involved in. Every single season, release a pack, release a bundle, it stays in the store the whole time. You could see exactly where it is and have a counter above it that counts up how much money has been raised by people buying that item, that pack, whatever it is. And then at the end of every season, that level of prize money goes towards a big Winter Royale tournament. How cool would that be? It'd be so awesome, and it would promote you wanting to buy it. They could literally release the worst skin in the world. I would still buy it to support a tournament that I'm gonna play in or watch or get involved in, and then everyone wins. And then content creators could promote it. Pros could promote it. It would become a big community thing to support buying the skin, knowing it's gonna go towards a major tournament. And I know obviously a lot of our tournament prize pools come from skins, they come from bundles, I get that. But having a counter to show exactly how much it is and tell the community that every bit of money that's raised from selling this skin or this bundle is gonna go towards the tournament would promote it so heavily. And it means you'd have a massive Winter Royale style tournament every single season. I think this would be such a good idea. I can't see a single downside or a single negative to it, except for maybe it would make people think that Epic is getting more money than what they are, because I'm guessing that skin or that bundle would sell insanely well. And then if it did, maybe people would start to assume that's the amount of money that Epic gets on every single skin. I don't know. That's literally the only downside I can think to this. I would love that. Every season, put that in the game. I would be so happy. And I haven't really seen anyone talk about that idea. I also want to talk about how I would change Arena to make it way more competitive, which I think would be so ridiculously healthy for this game. But I'll talk about that at the end of the video because it's kind of a little bit off to the side. Let's stick to tournaments. Let's talk about what the perfect tournament schedule would look like in my mind. So, firstly, starting off on Monday, I would want a solo cash cup that is console and PC separate. So console and PC would not be versing each other, because I think a tournament once a week for console players, even though it should be less prize money, I think like we saw with this most recent console cup, I think giving, console 30, 25% of the prize pool seems to make most people pretty happy. It's enough to play for, but like most of the console players are asking for, it's just a chance to play in a tournament against other console players to gauge how well you're going. I think that's fantastic. I think that'd be really healthy for the game, and then have it be PC separate as well. So PC also getting the bigger chunk of the prize pool, like the solo cash cups already are working. Tuesday, I think, should stay a day off because that's usually update day. I think that makes sense. Wednesday could be like an LTM and skin tourneys, or they can put on whatever they want on a Wednesday. Again, that should 100% be console and PC separate. Again, giving the console and a lot more of the casual players a chance to just verse other console players so they can gauge how well they're going. For every major region, the only region I can think where this might be scary for queue times and having issues is OCE. And if that really is an issue, just put them together, because again, OCE console gang, I feel for you, I'm sorry, but I don't think every other region shouldn't be splitting up their player base if they have the player base size to facilitate it. It makes no sense that you not have them split for just one region. I think then Thursday should be a Trio Cash Cup round 1, and then Friday should be Trio Cash Cup round 2, and all the prize money would go to the Trio Cash Cup on round 2. You'd have to make finals to make money. Now, I think that one should be console versus PC, because my idea here is this is the more competitive Cash Cup of the week. It's not like an FNCS FNCS that runs for weeks upon weeks and whole seasons, but it is a way to kind of have a round 1 format go down to a set lobby round 2. So top 33 teams from round 1 go on to round 2. And I know what a lot of pros are going to say. I know they're going to say that going from opens to top 33 is really, really difficult. And I agree. I don't think there's really enough time to fit in 2 rounds on the Thursday and then maybe a 3rd round on the Friday. It would be awesome if it could work, but I just don't really know how that one would work. But even if it's not top 33, maybe it's just round 1 down to top, I don't know, 200 teams. So even though, so that round 2 still feels way more competitive. I love the idea of 2-round cash cups. I just think when there was two-round cash cups a week, it was a little bit too much. I think just 1 on a Thursday and Friday would be really awesome. Then I think Saturday and Sunday should be FNCS, how it's running. I love the current FNCS format. I think it works really, really well. I think this FNCS was so much better than the last one. Just the format feels really exciting. I think it's honestly pretty much perfect. There's nothing I'd really tweak there, but it should be console and PC separate. I think there should be a console FNCS every season again. Even if it's 25-30% of the prize pool goes towards it. Most of the console players just want a tournament to verse other console players to gauge how good they are. I think that's fine. And I think if you have the prize pool be more of 20 to 30%, no PC player is going to go play the console. And that goes the same for the Monday solo cash cup like I talked about. It's a way to let console versus console and reward the console players. If a PC player or someone who owns a PC wants to play on console, that's fine. They're a console player. That's okay. I think that's fine. And that means the console players would still get respect for doing well in this tournament, but you wouldn't have so many PC players coming back and taking that prize pool that I think should be going towards the console community. That's what an ideal weekly schedule would look like for me. In there, I would absolutely love to see a daily duos. I think daily duos, especially during this summer break for the US and a lot of the EU people, would be so fantastic. You'd have a huge chunk of the player base come back. I've talked about this. Even if it alternates daily duos and daily solos, maybe. I think the pros and a lot of the more competitive audience wouldn't like that. Daily solos would get really tiring. The only reason why I lean towards this, I think it's a great chance for casuals and people getting into competitive to try to improve and gauge whether they're getting better and to prove themselves so they can find better teammates. But duos isn't too bad. Duos is a good mix of just finding one friend or one good player to give you a chance so you can improve and get better like that. And then it would help you find teammates to go into trios with. So I think daily duos would be perfect, but I could understand if people want daily solos here and there, maybe just once a week. If you put on top that crowd-funded Winter Royale style tournament I talked about earlier, and then I think a solo dream hack. I love once a month a stack solos tournament to see who the best solo players are. Solos is not my favorite game mode for an ongoing FNCS. There's just a lot of RNG issues. There's a lot of issues in general. If there's a super broken item in the game, like the caddy launcher, solos is just ruined. Trios is still not great when there's broken items, but if there's something bad in the meta, whether it's like, I don't know, heavy snipers, whether you've got way too much mobility, whether you've got just one broken gun, it's always abused heavily in solos, where in trios, because there's multiple people, you can overcome that one broken item. So as much as I love stack solos tournaments, I think once a month, a dream hack to get everyone together, to see how they compete, to have the pros not get miserable from always playing solos, I think that would be so fantastic. And that's pretty much like what my ideal season would look like. When you combine everything together, obviously I could just say, oh, I want cash cups every day. I want 10 times the prize pool. I'm trying to be realistic. I think these are things that Fortnite could easily achieve, and I don't think it's asking too much. With the daily duos, again, I could see this being PC and console split. You guys will notice I kind of push for that a lot. I just think it's way healthier for the console community to get to verse other console players so they don't feel demotivated. But some of you guys might disagree. A lot of people say that when console versus PC, that's what motivates them to improve. And then, you know, even if you're coming top, 400, but at the same time, you're, one of the top console players, it gives you that motivation to grind and get better. So I want to hear your guys' thoughts on that. I'm not someone who plays on console, so I don't really know. But again, you'll notice that a lot of what I'm talking about in here, it's not just purely catered towards a competitive standpoint. If I wanted to make a purely competitive format, it would look nothing like this. It would be more like a game like Valorant or League of Legends, where there's no tournaments for the community to play in. You have to join a team, you have to get sponsors, you have to go to LAN events, but that's not Fortnite. Fortnite is an open esports. It's never going to be the most competitive esport, but that's not what I think Fortnite's about. I think the fact that anyone can show up on the day and play in a Fortnite event, and if they're good enough, they qualify and they win all the money. I think that is the beauty of Fortnite. I don't want to take that too much away, and I want Fortnite to survive in the way that it's growing now and get bigger in the future. And I think the way it grows and thrives is by incorporating more of the casual audience into competitive with a lot of these open tournaments. So again, a lot of you guys are going to come at me being like, Aussie, why are you giving prize money to console? You know, that Winter Royale tournament should go towards like a giant World Cup style event. And I get that, and I'd love to see that as well. And maybe if there was a year-long skin you could buy, or Epic was designating more prize money to World Cup. Trust me, I'm a commentator. Like, my living is comp Fortnite. Trust me, I want to see comp Fortnite take off as much as everyone else, but I want to see Fortnite as a game survive and bring more casuals into competitive, which I think will keep the game healthy, will generate more revenue, and then all the prize monies go up. The FNCS goes up, the cash cups go up, there's more players playing, and it just generates more. So again, I know this isn't the most competitive schedule, but that's not what I'm going for. I'm going for what I think will grow the game and make it the healthiest. The last thing I wanted to talk about, and I've talked about this in previous videos, you guys have already heard it, but I'll talk about it again. I want a proper arena system. I want a proper competitive game mode. Don't try to tell me arena's competitive. I'm sorry, it just isn't. It is just pubs with siphon and mat farming, and if you rank up, you verse slightly better opponents that are more around your skill level. Yes, you could argue that is inherently competitive, but I want to see so much more from it. So what I want is I want multiple ranks, like proper ranks that actually matter. I want you to be able to derank out of them. If you don't play enough, say you don't play for 3 weeks, you can derank out, and I'll get to why that's important in a minute. And I also want to make it harder at the very top level, and there be like a really hard rank to get into, like top 100 in a region or top 200 or whatever it is. I want the ranks to be difficult, because every season, I've talked about this before, I want Epic to make a skin bundle. So like a skin, a back bling, a gun wrap, whatever it is, a glider, and I want it to have different styles. They make a really cool skin, and then that's the skin for the season. And depending on where you rank at the end of the season, you unlock that skin, or maybe during the season so you can flex it, you unlock it, and you have different bundles, you have different skins and different variants. So maybe the top rank has a really cool like rainbow, like chromatic version. The rank below that has like a really cool like black and red. You have gold, silver, diamond, emerald. You know what I mean? Like, you get where I'm going, right? So you can then flex that skin or that cosmetic that you got by playing competitive and being at the top level. It's the same as like League of Legends. When you load into a game, you have the banner. People really, really want that banner. They want it to be diamond, or they want it to be challenge, or whatever it is. And that moves on to my next point. I think that you should be able to flex your rank more. So I think when you're playing a game, tournament, whatever it is, unless you want to turn it off through anonymous mode, or maybe you can have anonymous mode on, but it still has it, I think you should have like an icon like you have right now, the different divisions, and it should be next to your name in the kill feed, and it shows what rank you are. So if you're in the top 100, you're whatever you want to call that rank, you can flex that. You'd be playing an arena game, people be like, oh damn, I've got someone who's top 100 in my game, and it should be on your friends list too, so you have the icon next to your friends list. It's just, these are the kind of things that make people want to play arena more and want to grind it. I know people talk about changing the point system, or you should give way more placement and way lesser limbs. That'll make people stop W keying. No, it won't, because we're not playing for anything right now. Once you get Champions Division, nothing matters. I could lose 30,000 points in a day, and I wouldn't really care, because I'm not gaining or losing anything. But if I'm now going to lose my icon, I'm not going to get the insane new bundle that I want, that would make me care enough to try. So yes, the point format can be tweaked, but if you want to make Arena actually competitive and you want to make it actually stacked, make the players play for something. And I think the ultimate thing to play for would be a tournament. And this is why deranking becomes important. I think they should have a tournament at the end of every season that you're only allowed to play in if you get into top whatever percent it is per region of arena. So if you get top 1% at NA East or top 0.5%, you now get to play in this like mini solos, FNCS, or duos or trios. I think solos makes the most sense, because a lot of people grind arena in solos, or if they do it as a team, they're not always playing with the same team. So I think solos makes the most sense. So you would then be grinding towards getting in that tournament for a good chunk of the prize pool. And that would mean that if you don't play for 2 weeks or whatever it is, you derank down so people can't just grind at the start of the season and stop playing. It means that the games would stay good throughout the whole season as people are trying to play to hold on to their rank and keep doing well and push further. And that's what would make Arena properly competitive. I think that would just generate so much more hype around the game because we all love playing stacked endgames. Hey, I'm a caster, I'm a boomer, I'm not very good at the game, but because I don't play in tournaments, I don't have any chance to play stacked endgames. If I could grind out Arena when tournaments weren't on and try to get better and play for placement and play it like a tournament, it would be so entertaining. But you've got to give people something to play for to make them want to play it like a tournament. Imagine being able to get on at any time of the day and get really, really solid games, or maybe even just at peak times if you were really high rank. But I don't think people would care if they just had a game mode they could play in that they knew they were going to take seriously. Same with all this stuff, guys. As you can tell, I love Fortnite. It's my favorite game. It's the game that's changed my life. It will always be my favorite game because it's put me in this position. The only reason I make these videos is not to give Epic a hard time or say Epic's doing a bad job. I think especially in recent seasons, Epic has done a phenomenal job. I think the game is getting way more competitive and it's going in such a good direction. And that's why I'm pushing it even further. I want Epic to keep listening to the community to get even more things that I think is going to be good for them and good for the game. If Fortnite thrives, then Epic's happy. I'm not trying to be one of those unreasonable people saying, I want a $5 million World Cup and I want it in a week's time. I don't care about COVID. Like, I'm still trying to say things that I think are within the realms of possibility, and I'm not saying them from a position of Epic's not doing enough or Epic's doing a poor job. I'm just saying that Epic's doing such a good job and I think it could be even better. And that's why I want to give my suggestions. I want to make sure that's clear as well, because obviously I have a great relationship with Epic. Epic has been fantastic to me, and I never want these videos to sound like I'm saying they're doing a poor job, because I think when the community starts to get that negative mindset towards Epic, that's when the game really declines. I love the game. I just want it to be literally perfect. And I think if I got all these things, oh, it'd be so good. Now, don't worry, guys. I know this one was a little bit different and you guys always ask for it and you seem to really enjoy them based on the numbers when I make them. So I hope you did enjoy it, but don't worry. FNCS in a few days. I've got your drop spot maps coming. I'm going to be breaking down all of the grand finals, who's going where, what are my predictions, who do I think is going to win. This team has beef with that team. I'm going to do all that. Don't worry. We've got a couple more days. I just really wanted to make this video because I was talking about a lot of this on stream today. And as you can tell, I get excited. I love this game. I get really amped up to make this kind of content. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please chuck a like on it. Let me know in the comment section down below your thoughts on anything I talked about today. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. It would mean the world to me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.